And a record number of Vietnam veterans got a chance to visit their war memorial yesterday.
Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Abigail Wood was in Washington, D.C. with the group, and she brings us their story.
Here at the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C., it's a moving scene as each of the 500 war veterans on this landmark honor flight go up to the wall and see the names of their fallen brothers. Some say they are just searching for closure, others still scarred by the cold reception they received when they first came back from Vietnam years ago. Others told me they're just glad to be standing shoulder to shoulder with those who know their story best. It was a time of closure and a time of healing. 500 Vietnam War veterans went on an honor flight to Washington, D.C. Monday. It's the biggest Vietnam honor flight the nation has ever seen. The highlight of the trip was a visit to the Vietnam Memorial, where the men walked along these granite walls in search of people they knew.
Oh, to see some of my buddies that were there, and we got a couple people from around Pike County that names are on the wall.
These three men all went to basic training together before the war, and they still live close to each other here in Nebraska. They say they're lucky to visit the wall together when so many Nebraska names are written on it.
It's hard to put past you, but you just still learn to move on and deal with it, that's all.
The horrors of battle aren't the only thing these veterans have to put behind them. They also face public opinion that had turned on not just the war, but the men that fought in it.
You wore your civilian clothes because you didn't want people to know who you were. It was a hard time.
One of the goals of this honor flight was to make right some of the injustices Vietnam veterans suffered when they came back from fighting overseas. When the honor flight landed in D.C., the airport was filled with people clapping and thanking them for their service.
I didn't expect all those people there, and they was shaking your hand and giving you high fives and hollering, and it just brought tears to my eyes as I went by, and I couldn't hardly compose myself because tears was coming.
And that was just the beginning. The group landed back in Omaha late Monday night to find another welcoming committee. This one filled the airport and spilled over onto the sidewalk outside with more than 4,500 people.
It's overwhelmed. People shaking both your hands when you're walking down. I didn't know how to act, They just big grin on my face and happy,
The flight saw support from several government leaders, including Senator Ben Sasse, former Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel, and Governor Pete Ricketts. Of the 500 war veterans on this honor flight, 50 are Purple Heart recipients and 6 hold the Distinguished Flying Cross.